My child, just moments ago, the authorities received a call, but this wasn't the usual call. Not about a theft, not about a robbery, not even a fire. No, this one was different, because the voice on the other end wasn't reporting a crime. They were threatening one. And the shocking part? That threat wasn't aimed at some stranger, some distant soul lost in the chaos of the world. No, my child, it was aimed at you. Yes, you. The one reading these words, the one I've called by name, the one I've set apart for a purpose greater than you can imagine. The officer who picked up the phone froze, his breath catching in his throat as the voice spoke your name. The room, once quiet with the hum of routine, turned heavy with urgency. They scrambled to trace the call, fingers racing across keyboards, a blinking red dot on a screen closing in on a location. But just as they thought they had it, the line went dead. And in that final moment, before the silence swallowed everything, the voice whispered something that made the officer's heart stop. A date. November 3 RD. Why that date, my child? What does it mean? Who was behind that cold, calculated voice? And what did they plan to do? These are not questions to brush aside. They are not shadows to ignore. Because this threat, this moment, is about you, and I am here to pull back the veil. If you give me your time, I will reveal the truth, the voice, the plan, the mystery of November 3rd. So take a deep breath, my child. Open your heart. Because what I'm about to tell you will change everything. Let's begin. The office where it all started was nothing special, tucked away in a small police station on the edge of town. The air was thick with the smell of stale coffee and old paper, the kind that clings to your clothes. Desks were buried under stacks of reports, some yellowing at the edges, and a ceiling fan spun lazily overhead, creaking with every turn. The officers were weary, their eyes heavy from long shifts and endless tasks. It was a night like any other, or so they thought. The clock on the wall showed just past midnight, its hands ticking slowly, as if the world outside was holding its breath for what was to come. Then the phone rang. Its sharp, piercing sound cut through the quiet like a blade slicing through fabric. Officer Daniels, a man with graying hair and a worn-out notepad, reached for the receiver. "This better be quick," he muttered under his breath, expecting something routine, a lost wallet, a noisy neighbor, maybe a minor accident on the highway. He'd heard it all before in his 20 years on the job. But the moment he said, "Hello," the air in the room changed. It grew thick, heavy, as if the walls themselves were leaning in to listen. "Listen carefully," the voice on the other end said. It wasn't loud or panicked. It was calm, deliberate, like ice sliding down a glass, cold and unyielding. "This isn't about a crime that's happened. This is about one that will happen. And it's coming for someone you know." Daniel's pen hovered over his notepad. His heart skipped a beat, a flicker of unease crawling up his spine. "Who?" he asked, his voice steady but tight, the kind of tone you use when you sense something's wrong but aren't sure how bad it is yet. "Give me a name." The voice paused, as if savoring the moment, letting the tension build like a storm gathering on the horizon. Then it spoke your name, my child. Clear as day, unmistakable, each syllable landing like a stone in still water. Daniel's eyes widened. He scribbled your name on the pad, his hand shaking slightly, leaving an uneven scrawl. He waved urgently to his partner, Officer Reyes, a younger woman with sharp eyes and quick reflexes. She leaped to her computer, her fingers flying across the keys to trace the call. A digital map lit up on the screen, a red dot pulsing, narrowing down the location. It was close, closer than they expected, somewhere within the city limits, maybe only a few miles away. "Who is this?" Daniels demanded, pressing the phone closer to his ear, his voice rising with urgency. "What do you want?" The voice didn't waver, didn't hesitate. "November 3rd, it said, each word sharp and precise, like a blade being sharpened. That's the day it happens. That's the day they fall." Daniels opened his mouth to ask more, to demand answers, but the line went silent. The trace wasn't complete. The red dot on the map blinked once, twice, then vanished, leaving nothing but a blank screen and a room full of questions. The officers exchanged glances, their faces pale, their breaths shallow. That date, November 3rd, hung in the air like a storm cloud, heavy with meaning they couldn't yet grasp. Reyes looked at Daniels, her voice barely above a whisper. "What was that? Who's this person they're talking about?" Daniels stared at your name on his notepad, his mind racing. He didn't know you personally, but the way the voice said your name, it was personal, deliberate, filled with intent. This wasn't a prank. This was real. And November 3rd wasn't just a date. It was a deadline. "Let me tell you something the officers don't know, something they couldn't hear in that brief, chilling call. I know who was behind it. I know what they plan. And I know why November 3rd matters. This wasn't a random act, my child. This wasn't a stranger picking your name out of thin air, some faceless figure in a distant place. No, this is someone close. Someone who's been near you, walked beside you, maybe even shared a meal with you at your table. This person knows you. They've seen your smile light up a room, heard your laughter echo in quiet moments, listened to you talk about your dreams and fears. They've been in your space, maybe sat on your couch, stood in your kitchen, or walked with you down familiar streets. They know the way you move through your day, when you leave for work, when you're alone, when you're lost in thought, your mind drifting to the future I've promised you. But behind their familiar face, behind their kind words or casual conversations, something darker has been growing, like a weed choking a garden. Maybe it's jealousy, my child. Maybe it's anger, buried deep, a wound they've nursed in silence, blaming you for something you didn't even know you did. Or maybe it's fear, fear of your light, your purpose, the way you're walking towards something greater than they can comprehend. You see, you carry a calling, a destiny I've placed within you. It shines brighter than you realize, a beacon that draws some closer and pushes others away. To this person, your light is blinding. It stirs envy, resentment, a need to pull you down to their level. They've been watching you, studying you like a hunter studies its prey. They know your routines, when you wake up, when you lock your door, when you let your guard down. They've marked November 3rd as their day to act, a day they've circled in their mind, a day they've tied to their scheme. But why that date? Let me show you. November 3rd isn't random. It's a day that means something to them, a day tied to a memory, an event, something you might have shared with them in passing, a birthday, an anniversary, a moment you thought was innocent but they've twisted into a marker for their plan. Perhaps it's a day you celebrated together, a day you laughed together, a day they smiled at you while hiding their true intentions. Or maybe it's a day they've chosen because they know you'll be vulnerable, maybe you're planning something special, a trip, a gathering, a moment when your focus will be elsewhere. They think they've found the perfect moment to strike. But here's the truth they don't understand: I see everything. I hear every whisper, every thought they try to hide. I know their secrets, and I am with you, my child. What they meant for harm, I will turn to your favor. What they planned in darkness, I will bring into the light. Their trap is already unraveling, because no plan formed against you can stand when I am your shield. Let's go deeper into this mystery, my child. This threat isn't vague or far off. It's specific, calculated, like a spider weaving a web to catch its prey, each thread placed with care. They're not planning to confront you in a crowded place, where eyes might see or hands might intervene. No, they want to catch you where you feel safe, where you let your guard down, where you never expect danger to find you. Maybe it's your home, where you close the door and let the world fade away, where you sink into your couch and breathe out the day's worries. Maybe it's a place you love, a quiet park where you walk to clear your mind, the leaves crunching under your feet as you pray or dream. Maybe it's a cafe where you sip coffee and read, the hum of conversation around you like a comforting blanket. Or maybe it's a place tied to your heart, a church where you worship, a friend's house where you laugh, a corner of your world where you feel untouchable. They've chosen this place carefully, because this isn't just about hurting you physically, it's about breaking your spirit. They want to shatter your trust, your sense of safety, the foundation of your peace. They want you to question everything, your friends, your choices, your faith. They've studied your habits, when you're alone, when you're distracted, when you're most vulnerable. They know the times you check your phone less, the moments you're lost in thought, the places where you feel at ease. They've marked November 3rd as the day to strike, thinking it's the perfect moment to catch you off guard. But they've forgotten one thing: I am your protector. I am your refuge, your stronghold, your shield. No weapon formed against you will prosper, because I am watching over you. Their plan may be clever, but my wisdom is greater. Their scheme may be hidden, but my light exposes all things. Nothing escapes my sight, and no one can touch what I have claimed as mine. Do you remember the story of Esther? How Haman plotted against her people, thinking he had the upper hand. He built a gallows, certain of his victory, believing no one could stop him. He walked with pride, plotting in secret, thinking his plan was flawless. But I was watching. I turned his scheme upside down, and the very trap he set became his downfall. So it will be with this threat, my child. November 3rd will not be their day of triumph. It will be yours. Let me take you deeper still, because there's more to this plan than meets the eye. This person isn't acting alone. They've whispered their intentions to others, maybe not the full truth, but enough to pull others into their web. They've been careful, using words that sound harmless, masking their true intent behind smiles and small talk. They might have allies, people who don't even realize they're part of a darker plan, people who think they're helping a friend or settling a score. Their scheme is layered, intricate, like a puzzle they've spent months piecing together. It's not just about a single act. They might try to sabotage something you hold dear, your work, your relationships, your dreams. They might spread lies to turn others against you, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those you trust. They might create a moment that makes you question everything, your choices, your path, even your faith. Maybe they'll stage an event to make you feel isolated, to make you doubt your worth, to make you think you're alone in this world. But here's what they don't know: I've already seen their every move. I've heard their every word, every whispered conversation, every secret meeting. I've seen the notes they've written, the plans they've drawn, the moments they thought no one was watching. And I've set my own plan in motion. Before November 3rd arrives, a light will shine on their scheme. A mistake will be made, a message sent to the wrong person, a conversation overheard by someone who shouldn't have been there, a clue left behind in their haste. The authorities are already searching, my child. Officer Daniels and Reyes haven't stopped. They've pulled the recording of that call, listening to it again and again, catching every nuance in the voice, every hint of intent. They're talking to people, checking records, following leads that seem small but are leading them closer. They don't know it yet, but they're on the right path, guided by my hand, even if they don't realize it. I am placing the right people in the right places, setting the stage for their plan to collapse. Let me speak to your heart now, because this threat is meant to make you afraid. It's meant to make you doubt, to question who you can trust, to wonder if you're safe. But I say to you, do not fear. Fear is a chain, and I am breaking it right now. You are not alone in this. I am with you, closer than your next breath, stronger than any enemy you face. Think about David, standing before Goliath. The giant towered over him, mocking him, threatening him with a sword and a spear. Everyone thought David would fall. The soldiers laughed, the onlookers turned away, certain it was over. But I was with him. I guided that stone from his sling, a simple tool in the hands of a faithful heart. I brought the giant down. And I will bring this threat down too. November 3rd will not be a day of defeat. It will be a day of deliverance. So what should you do, my child? Keep walking in faith. Keep trusting in me. Be wise, yes, watch who you let close, guard your heart, choose your company carefully. Not everyone who smiles is your friend. Not everyone who speaks kindly has a kind heart. Some people wear masks, hiding their true intentions behind words that sound sweet but taste bitter. But don't let fear steal your joy. Don't let this threat dim your light. You were created for a purpose, and no plan of man can stop what I have started. Let me share something deeper with you. This moment, this challenge, it's not just about surviving. It's about growing. It's about stepping into the fullness of who I created you to be. Sometimes, I allow storms to come not to break you, but to build you. To show you your own strength. To remind you of my power. To prepare you for the greater things I have planned. This threat is a shadow, but I am the light. And when light shines, shadows flee. On November 3rd, you will see my hand move. You will see doors open that no one can shut. You will see chains break that no one can bind. You will walk forward, not as a victim, but as a victor, carrying a story that will inspire others, a testimony that will echo for years. But let's talk about the days leading up to November 3rd. This is a time to be vigilant, but not afraid. Pay attention to the people around you. Notice the ones who ask too many questions, who linger too long, who seem to know more than they should. Trust your instincts, because I've given you discernment. If something feels off, it might be my spirit nudging you to be cautious. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, who speak life into your dreams, who pray for you and not against you. Choose friends who challenge you to grow, who celebrate your victories, who stand by you in the storms. Distance yourself from those who drain you, who gossip, who pull you into negativity. Their words are like poison, and your destiny is too precious to let them taint it. Let me take you back to the threat for a moment. This person, this voice, they think they're in control. They think they've planned every detail, covered every track. They've rehearsed their steps, mapped out their moves, convinced themselves they're untouchable. But they've made mistakes already. They've left clues, small but significant. Maybe it's a glance they didn't mean to give, a comment that slipped out in a moment of carelessness, a receipt left behind, a phone call made from a place they thought was safe. The authorities are closer than they think. Officer Daniels is relentless, replaying the call, analyzing the voice for any hint of familiarity. Reyes is digging through records, cross-referencing names, checking locations near where the trace briefly locked. They're talking to people who might know something, neighbors, co-workers, anyone who's crossed paths with you. They're following a trail, and it's leading them to the truth. And I am guiding their steps, my child. I am placing the right clues in their path, the right people in their way. A witness will come forward, maybe someone who overheard a conversation they weren't meant to hear, or saw something they weren't meant to see. A piece of evidence will surface, a text, a note, a slip of paper that points to the one behind this. The trap they set for you will become their undoing. Do you know the story of Joseph? His brothers plotted against him, threw him into a pit, sold him into slavery, thinking they'd ended his dreams. They laughed as they walked away, believing they'd won. But I was with him. I turned their betrayal into his elevation, their curse into his blessing. What they meant for harm, I used for good. And so it will be with you, my child. This threat, this date, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you rise higher than ever before. Let's talk about you, my child. You've been through battles before. Maybe not like this, but struggles that tested your heart, your faith, your strength. I've seen the nights you couldn't sleep, the moments you cried alone, the times you wondered if you could keep going. I've heard every prayer you whispered in the dark, every plea you poured out when no one else was listening. I've seen the way you kept showing up, even when your strength felt gone, the way you kept giving, even when you felt empty. You've been faithful, my child. You've held on when everything told you to let go. You've trusted me when the world said to give up. And because of that, I'm about to do something new. Something big. Something that will leave you in awe, standing in wonder at my power and love. Your season of waiting is ending. Your season of breakthrough is beginning. Right now, as you read these words, I am moving behind the scenes. I am aligning people, places, and opportunities. I am breaking down walls that have held you back, walls of doubt, walls of fear, walls of pain. I am opening paths you couldn't see, paths that lead to places you never dreamed you'd go. The enemy thought he could stop you with this threat. He thought he could scare you, silence you, make you shrink back into the shadows. But he forgot who your Father is. He forgot that I am the God who turns curses into blessings, who takes what was meant for harm and uses it for good. He underestimated the fire I've placed in you, the strength I've built in you, the destiny I've written for you. Let me paint a picture of what's coming, my child. On November 3rd, when this person thinks they're about to strike, something will happen. A phone will ring again, not with a threat, but with truth. A witness will step forward, or a piece of evidence will surface, a text message, a voice recording, a slip of paper that points to the one behind this. The authorities will move swiftly, and the plan will fall apart before it can touch you. You'll walk away from that day not just safe, but stronger. You'll carry a story of my faithfulness, a testimony of how I stepped in when all seemed lost. You'll look back on November 3rd not as a day of fear, but as a day of victory, a day when I showed the world that you are mine. But this isn't just about one day. This is about your future. I'm preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Doors are opening, doors to new opportunities, new relationships, new dreams. I'm placing people in your life who will walk with you, support you, help you rise. I'm breaking chains that have held you back, whether they're doubts, fears, or old wounds. I'm healing the places in your heart that still ache, restoring the joy that's been stolen, renewing the hope that's been tested. You are not defined by this threat. You are not defined by the schemes of those who plot against you. You are defined by my love, my purpose, my promises. You are stronger than you know, braver than you feel, loved more than you can comprehend. And I am with you, always, through every step, every storm, every victory. So what should you do now, my child? Keep your eyes on me. Don't focus on the threat or the date. Don't let fear cloud your vision. Look to me. Trust in me. Walk with me. Be wise in your choices, choose your friends carefully, guard your heart, protect your peace. Pay attention to the small things, the glances, the words, the moments that feel off. I've given you discernment, so trust it. But don't live in fear, because fear is not your portion. Faith is. Joy is. Hope is. Get ready, my child, because I am about to pour out blessings you can't contain. I am about to open doors you didn't know existed. I am about to take you higher than you've ever been. November 3rd will not be the end. It will be a beginning, a new chapter, a new story, a new testimony of my power in your life. You'll tell this story for years to come, about the day I stepped in, turned the enemy's plan upside down, and showed the world that you are mine. So hold fast. Keep going. Trust me. November 3rd is not their day. It's mine. And because you are mine, it's yours too. Let's walk this together. Let's see this through. And when it's over, you'll stand taller, shine brighter, and know without a doubt that I am your God, and I will never let you fall.